to continue the in-depth analysis of events as they continue to unfold here. Honestly, Nigeria creates, of course, a strategy in human history. We appear not to have seen, of course, an end to this, of course, turbulent times and most controversial circumstances bordering on the Chicago State University certificate saga, supposedly, of course, uh, to have, of course, unraveling several mysteries about the authenticity of the certificate issued or submitted by the substantive president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the person of Ahmed Bola Tinubu during the, of course, screening process at the INEC, which has been vehemently challenged by his rival from the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and of which has seen several legal tussles, and at the end, the certificate was released to Article Legal Counsel, and Chicago State University failed to authenticate the certificate, the originality of that certificate submitted by Tinubu at INEC. What is that to tell us? Good morning.
You're welcome, sir.
The pleasure of having you this morning.
Thank you, sir.
So, what do you have to say with the revelation, of course, made by Chicago State University?
In fact, I'm short of word. Very ashamed for a state like Nigeria. In fact, I don't even know how we come about here. That is why it is clear that there is no human being in Nigeria and there is no law. One, because if it were to be a place that has law, all this kind of mess wouldn't have happened to a Nigerian state. But it is because Nigerian state, we are so lawless. That is why they said that that the law is made for an inferior to obey. Now we be the inferior. They are the superior. So they are above the law. It's only in Nigerian state that I only see where a thief
It's celebrated.
a kidnapper, a looter is bigger than the law of the nation. And for God's sake, I keep saying that what make a nation is the law, because that law is like bone that is living in a human being body. Without this bone inside human being body, they can be structured. They can be a human being. And for God's sake, for how long are we going to continue in this kind of mess? That is why you see today now, some people is being Nigeria is being classified as zoo. Mean there is no single human being. Because if Nigeria were to be a place that is being governed by law and human being, all this kind of thing wouldn't have been taking place. So imagine. Anyway, we are waiting to see what will be the outcome at the Supreme Court. Whether they will judge it as per their own way, because that is how it is. Everybody is like that, both in the judiciary that we were supposed to have a hope, both in the National Assembly, because these people that I mentioned are the same birds, the temps and tempest, birds of the same feather.
APC said, of course, Tinubu's Atiku's effort is just fruitless because it amounts to nothing at the end of the day. Do you seem to agree with such submissions?
It is not. It is fruitless for them, not for Nigeria. For Nigerian, article move is very welcome.
Very welcome.
Yeah.
But the APC as a party that produces the president says it is a fruitless effort.
They have to say so because they are all criminals. Don't you know? We are APC as a party are criminals. So that is why they look at it that way.
Unfortunately, Nigerian case appears to be a tragedy in human history. Now, one thing we have to look at is that, yes, the Chicago State University said they could not authenticate, validate the certificate that was submitted. And I expected them to produce, maybe say, okay, this is the certificate we issued to Bola Tinubu and not this one. But they said this is not the certificate issued by them, and they couldn't produce the one they issued, which invariably means possibly he did not graduate from this school. Because if you graduate from the school, you would have a certificate. The school will have your documents or a duplicate of the document possibly they issue to you.
Yeah.
Even though you claim that it was lost or burnt, they should have at that particular time say, no, this is the
one they issue.
The one they issued to Tinubu, and not the one, of course, he presented as argued by the legal counsels to Atiku. So if they refuse to produce anyone, so what does that really tell us? That possibly those claim was just a mere
claim.
A mere forgery.
Yeah. It just as you have said, it just a mere forgery. In order for him to deceive the entire country and of course the entire world at large. But I know he can succeed in deceiving those he feel he can deceive. Not everybody. Not everybody, because we know Nigerians are educated people. But for the part that in most cases when something happens, then they decide to keep quiet, does not mean say they are fools.
They are fools.
Does not mean that they are illiterate. You understand me? They are nothing but peace-loving people. But then let this criminal keep messing up themselves. But with time, everything will be out. Yeah.
But do you believe that can you just dismiss this the claim by the APC that it is just a waste of time?
It is not.
You know, they are in control of the powers, the military, and they of course can buy over the judiciary, as of course alleged by based on the recent happenings. I do think what they are saying, they meant it, that nothing can come out of this, regardless of whatever might be the indictment or the purported forgery that may be established.
In my own opinion, that is how they look at it, because they are criminal. But in the entire Nigerian as a nation, the move is a welcome one, because whether or not it's going to be in the record. You understand me? It's going to be in the record. A document that you keep in the record can be forgotten. And if the present government fail in their bid to do anything, don't forget that in any time Nigeria can rise up to take the book by their own, nobody on.
By, to
Yeah,
take the bull by the
yeah,
horn,
yeah,
which
yeah.
means Nigeria will not take it for granted.
Yeah,
They will not take it lightly, of course,
at
because
all, because this is
both Nigerians in diaspora and home,
this
it is an
this is a very
embarrassment.
big mess,
It
man. A
is
very big embarrassment to the entire
to
nation like
all
that. Yeah,
Nigerians
yeah,
and
yeah.
by extension
So we can't take it.
Africans.
We
But
can't take
don't you
it.
think that there could be some collaboration with Chicago State University for such to happen? Don't you think that some heads will roll even within Chicago State? So for such a high level conspiracy wouldn't have been possible
Okay.
without insiders.
Okay. That is why that we keep saying that this issue of criminality is not only peculiar to a particular state. It's all over everywhere until the day their cup will full. Yeah, so that's how it is.
Well, so possibly Chicago's those conspirators may be finding a place to hide themselves.
They can't hide. They cannot hide. Why? Because the Bible in which you and me read says that as long as this sun is shining, that there shall be no hidden place, for the wicked. You understand me? So anybody can feel, anybody can do something today, and they feel that it can go hidden. But as long as this sun continue to shine, the person is telling lie. So one day, it's their call will full.
Whatever is covered up
Yeah,
will
yeah, yeah.
surely
Yeah,
surface.
of course. So that's
That
it.
is the reality confronting us. Thank you so much, sir,
Thank you.
for
You're
your
welcome.
wonderful submission this morning. We
Thank
do
you, sir.
appreciate.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
God bless you, sir. Let
Thank
me
you.
go.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, as we wait for Authentic General to make his submissions, SFS, I hope you understood what the subject of discussion this morning is that Nigeria case appearing to be a tragedy in the history of humanity. Well, let's know what is your own submissions regarding this, and could you envisage the possibility of more heads rolling as far as Chicago State University is concerned, because there wouldn't be smoke, fire without smoke. And wherever you see the trace of smoke, possibly there could be some sort of ignitions or something combusting, burning. Well, let's see what is your reactions. If you're joining us this morning, this is called Web TV, Political Rumbles. Yeah, where we discuss and analyze, of course, issues bordering on the existence of our people, and of course, the reality confronting us can no longer be denied, because it has become pertinent and very necessary that we must, of course, get it right now or never. It is more important, honestly, as we await the next, of course, speaker to come on board and let us know while we continue to expatiate on these realities. Yes, Chicago, there is nothing anyone claiming to have lost his documents or certificates. But the reality is that once you approach the institution, they will be able to replicate same certificate. Of course, if you are able to prove that that is your certificate, or you are entitled to such certificate, yes, regardless of whatever may happen. Of course, you also have access to your transcript on demand. But this one, Chicago State University do not tell us that this is the certificate or typical certificate that bears Ahmed Bola Tinubu's name, that was issued by the Chicago State University, and not just the one purported to have been submitted by the same, of course, person of concern. And that brings or raises more questions, and why we continue to dive more into this and to unravel certain mysteries, that if the authentication of the Chicago State University was not approved by the states, of course, Senate, of the school or the board of the school, then what happens? What other argument do you have to make regarding the authenticity of this claim? It is quite disturbing, so to say. But then, whatever happens, we watch and hope that Atiku's legal counsel will be able to, of course, argue that case more intelligently and possibly might, regardless of public perceptions about the integrity of the Nigerian judicial uh, process, will also, beyond reasonable doubts, overwhelmingly, of course, gets that victory in their favor. Well, this is a moment of excitement and intrigues, of course, as far as Nigeria is concerned, and we are here to continue to watch this unfold. Those in diaspora, US and Asian countries, Europe, Australia, I welcome you to this wonderful morning, and of course, my esteemed comrades within the Nigerian state. Let us know how you feel about this unfortunate experience or development, of course, which has a very moral burden on the Nigerian state and on the president of the country, Nigeria. And of course, by extension, anyone who carries the green passport anywhere in the world will be perceived in the light of these current realities to be suspicious or a suspect of crime or criminality or having a more pronounced tendency of criminality. That is quite unfortunate, and something perhaps should be done and very urgently to get ourselves out of this quagmire, out of this mud. These circumstances may have dragged, of course, the Nigerian masses and everyone that has directly or indirectly identified with the Nigerian state. Of course, we not deny that this stand will also in any way affect him or her. But that to the contrary, let's watch and see what possibly will happen. And let's see, of course, via the comment section and you watch this happening. One says Nigerian is quite an unfortunate uh, geographical expression where everything is possible, where, of course, the perceived state of lawlessness is on the increase, and everyone might want to take advantage of any circumstances at the expense of the masses. As APC has challenged, of course, the PDP's position, and PDP said that we have been vindicated today as it stands now. This is our position, but APC is saying that, well, whatever happens, we have the power, we've got the judiciary, and we have everything at our disposal. Possibly your effort was just a mere waste of time because we have the technicalities and how to dislodge whatever argument that may be brought before the tribunal. Do you think that is a way to go? That can that, of course, restore the people's confidence and trust in the system called Nigeria and by extension the judicial process? It is rather unfortunate that this is our experience, and whatever happens, of course, we will continue to keep our eyes across and see what finally becomes, of course, the history of this development, how this will end. We are keeping a watch and crossing our hands to see what this will lead us to and where this will, of course, eventually land us to. Are we going to uphold or validate a system that supposedly or allegedly encourages uh, perjury of falsification of documents. Recall that during Buhari's time, there of course arises some controversies regarding his certificates, and some people say that he could only produce just a NEPA bill. But at the end of the day, everything was swept under the carpet, and life continues 8 years down the line. Of course, Buhari completed his tenure, and we are in this cycle of mess again this morning. Of course, discussing again the same APC candidate with the most controversial circumstances. What will become of this case is a matter of urgency, and we must get to know what is happening and why should that be the way to treat this issue. It is very important, and if we don't take this as a matter of seriousness, well, we may not have a place to call our home. We may not have, of course, any reason to remain as an entity, because uh, it will form the basis of acceptance and rejection by the populations of this country who are not satisfied or disappointed either over the latest developments and the purported certificate saga. Well, all eyes, of course, possibly are on the Supreme Court. How will they, of course, interpret the law bordering on perjury at this time? Well, let's see what that whether the technicalities will also be deployed under these circumstances. Well, let's see how such will be possible, and it's quite unfortunate and really embarrassing, so to say. Yes, we have this. Okay, Authentic is still busy with his people. Let's see, interact and know what is happening. What is your own perception? Some said that the Chicago State University affirms that Tinubu was a graduate or passed through the school. Then were they able to present the certificate that was issued to him, if actually there is any? Of course, that differs from what was once presented to us. It is quite unfortunate, and let's just adjust this and watch as this thing. Okay, yes, it's important that we. Okay, trying to just get one or two things. Okay, good morning, Mr. Andrew. You are welcome to this wonderful show, and let's see what is your own submission regarding this development. And we have yes, we have Mr. Please, just 2 minutes is okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you once again. Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, we have here with me. Okay, we're just trying to see. Yeah, good morning, Uku Ojid. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, welcome. Yes, what do you feel and how do you react to this certificate saga, and the what you expect possibly might be the case, and how would that affect you wherever you might be residing, possibly out of the shores of this country? How do you greet such a development as a Nigerian, or because you traveled, you have in possession the green card? Do you feel, of course, comfortable with this development? Let's know what is the position. Okay, okay. Well. We expect more interactions here, and possibly, of course, waiting for this earnest discussion, because it is so elaborate, and whether you like it or not, it affects all are sundry. If you have anything to identify with the Nigerian system, you can't deny the realities. It is a national embarrassment in the first place, and it reveals the depth of rottenness and decay in the system called Nigeria, and that is rather unfortunate. And we must not deny the realities that this indirectly or directly affects us, because before this time, Nigerian masses or citizens have been subjected to a very high level of scrutiny wherever they found themselves, because of the general perception of having the tendency of criminality, because of how the bad image are created uh, against the state, of course, by the supposed politicians and some mischievous or nefarious elements within the system. And now that this is unfolding, then it means the test that will be more intensified, and every average Nigerian will be seen in the light of these current realities. But that does not, of course, represent the truth or the realities. I still believe that the most Nigerians, a majority of Nigerians, that believe in integrity, in the accountability, and will not want to soil their reputation for whatever, of course, gain, because they believe that a good name is far better than any material quest or, of course, a pursuit. But that seems not to be the case, because my people do say, Ochaka Rutamano Ozo Akandi Ozo. By implication, that means, okay, Tony, good morning. Okay, well, if that is your opinion, well, let's watch as that unfolds. When a finger touches an oil, of course, it must possibly split to other fingers. That does not in any way, of course, affirms that everybody is corrupt, and that is the reality. That is the reality, and we hope that whatever okay happens, we have a limited time to spend here, and what in the meantime, let's interact and see what happens. Do you have more revelations regarding this? Let's know. And some say they are digging more, of course, in depthly to unravel more mysteries. Well, major concern is that we are here to continue to discuss the impacts, negative impact this might have on the Nigerian masses, and how to get out of this. It becomes necessary, because if you don't fight criminality, is perceived to be an accomplice of such. And anyone who may not want to speak up when things are getting out of hands, possibly indirectly, maybe working in tandem with the unfortunate happenings. Let's rise up. It's time to rise up. It's time to, of course, clean up the system. Well, what is your own contribution towards this? And what do you think, of course, would happen? This is must set a precedent, and eventually, whatever happens will become either a norm acceptable by all, or the privileged few will be forced on the defenseless masses of this country. Well, let's continue to watch and see how this happens. We come your way in the next edition, possibly. Of course, we'll come up with more revelations, because time is fast spent, and we have limited. Of course, okay, we have just about 5 minutes to wrap it up, or less. Let's watch as this happens. What is the state of Nigeria today? How do you feel about the Nigerian country? Don't you think that that wouldn't have been possible without the conspiracy of the insiders of the Chicago State University? Because the discrepancies, the disparity, the shady dealings, and of course, suggest otherwise. Just a minute. Suggest otherwise, and that is quite interesting. Let's see, would that be possible? Because that wouldn't have been possible without somebody somewhere beating the drum. My people say when you see somebody dancing before the public without, of course, possibly that is someone drumming for him or her anywhere, possibly in the bush, and that is a wisdom, of course, we must not deny. And this is, you're welcome. Please, let's have your own view just in 2 minutes. Okay. It's more important at this time. No, no, this one is very clear. Let's hear your own perspective. We needed to hear your own perspective. Everybody is allowed to express himself regarding this Chicago State University certificate saga. I know you must have heard it. How do you feel as a woman uh, over these circumstances?
I'm very disappointed, and that integrity is lacking. And if it's lacking at the top, then it's very questionable. It's really questionable because one of the attributes of a good leader is integrity. There must be integrity in leadership. So when it's missing, that means we don't have someone to look up to, and we don't know how effective that leadership will be.
How effective that leadership could be? Could you at this time trust the dispensation of this government based on these revelations?
You can't trust it at all unless he actually takes a rethink and is deeply sorry and regrets his action. Then we know that with repentance there is always a room for improvement. But apart from that sincere thoughtfulness and repentance, I don't think we can trust the leadership, because any leadership that is not based on transparency and truthfulness cannot go far. They can't go far at all. That's what we have outside the country. Their leaders are straightforward. When they tell you yes, their yes is yes. But when even your own life, you have nothing, nothing trustworthy, nothing clean to bring out. And the whole of this nation, we are looking up to you. It's a pity.
And now that we are expecting more foreign national, multinationals to invest in Nigeria, do you think they will have that effrontery, that impetus to trust the Nigerian economy and system?
They may not trust it, as in looking at what is going on, they will not trust it. But if they have foresight and they know how to navigate their way, they may still be able to invest. But looking at what is going on, they may not be able to see that gold mine that is hidden here. Yes, because of what they already seen, the falsehood and all that. They will not be able to trust it. But if they can really look beyond that, there is a lot in Nigeria. There is a lot.
There is a lot in Nigeria
Yes,
where we have a government that can be trusted, a leader.
Yes.
Now, in the eyes of the law, do you see the law taking its course? Because taking an oath under the law concerning any certificate forgery means is an act of perjury. Do you think the law will have its course, its full weight as its borders on the presidency if well established?
Well, if well established, yes, it will take its course. But in Nigeria, there is immunity for incumbent presidents. So that immunity will work because of the kind of what's it called, our system that is corrupt, so to speak. The situation must be covered, will be covered because of the Nigeria we find ourselves in. But if it is in a place where there is transparency, the law will take its course. But I don't see anything coming out of it. It will soon die down.
It will soon die
So
down.
it will soon die down.
Which means you are not confidence of the judicial
At all,
process.
at all. Many of our governors, ex-governors, even incumbent governors, if they've been caught outside the country with drugs and all that, what happened? You understand? Yes, they may talk about it, but while they are in government, there is immunity.
Where there is in government, there is immunity.
Yes.
Even when you are sitting with impunity
That's it.
and covering it with all alacrity,
That's it.
confronting the people and staring at the people, asking them that you have no impetus to challenge, of course, his criminality, even when sitting in a supposedly fraudulent mandate.
Yeah, that is just where we find ourselves. That's where we find ourselves. We hope things change. I'm telling you, we hope things change. But so far, that is the situation of the country.
So far, that is the situation. How do you think the people in diaspora will be feeling at this time?
Of course, they'll be
Do you
irritated.
think that will affect them as well? The image of the country,
Definitely,
community
it's
of
going
nations.
definitely it's going to affect the image of the country. It might affect the people outside there. Yes, because they will know that there is a stain on all Nigerians. Yes, there is a stain, so they have to check them thoroughly. Even at the airports, everywhere they have to check them thoroughly because corruption is inborn. Yes, the corruption is there, so it will affect us, our global image, and also the people in diaspora.
Wow, thank you so much for your wonderful submissions. Well, you've heard it, opinions of the masses regarding the latest happenings and revelations unfolding. People are dissatisfied with the system. Well, according to her, she said that if the president could have a rethink or remorse over the circumstances, and possibly Nigerians are good-hearted, might find a place to forgive him. But that's having said, when what happens to the, of course, rigorous process undertaken by the Atiku and his legal counsels to this effect, of course, will they also let go, of course, even when they have more concrete evidence to validate their claim that this government is supposedly illegitimate, and we continue to question the legitimacy of the government of Tinubu. Of course, by Atiku Abubakar. Yes, on the final note, we have Mr. You are most welcome, sir. As we round it up this morning, I hope you have seen, of course, the male spoke out their minds, and of course, the female gender have also expressed her own unfortunate incident. Tinubu should send, of course, the certificate back to. Okay, well, that is your own observation or interest. Well, let's watch as that unfolds. What is the possibility that that could be possible? It's something we must know. Let's hear from you and see how possible that is. Yes, on the good note, thank you, some fans. On this note, we wrap it up this morning. Wishing you all the best until we come your way next time. Remain safe, and don't forget, of course, to let us know what you feel regarding this latest developments and incidents. How you think that possibly could affect you, and possibly the Nigerian states in generality. Could it be a setback to us all as Sunday, or how do you think we could navigate out of this woods anytime soon? Would it be a moment of rewriting history, or would it be considered that Nigerian case is a tragedy in human history? Let's know what is your take. Remain blessed. Bye until we meet again in the next edition. Good morning, sir. You want to speak? Okay, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
We have another statement here. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling fine, but I'm hungry.
You're hungry?
I'm a carpenter. I know for club house again. I know for club house. I don't get work. I don't get work. I don't get work. I don't get work. I don't feel club again.
Okay, but you supported this government?
Make God help us. So, as a country, be too hard for people to eat. No money, no money. Country too hard. wey go help us o. We don't know where we are going in this country. Nigeria is better country before, but now wahala is too much o. Wahala is too much o. Make go help us o. I be carpenter, I no fit climb house again. What I chop e dey hard for me.
Okay. And you're expecting this government to do something better for you?
Yes o, yes o, yes
So,
o.
what were your expectations regarding this country and where you supported this government during the election?
Na prayer we dey pray make the country settle, make e settle, make dem do better for all poor people in Nigeria, make dem do better to us. This country too hard. I no fit climb house, I be carpenter, I no get any money now to eat. I no get money to I no fit climb up again. Make dem help me. Make people help me. God will help them o. God will keep them o.
Okay, you mean have you approached any government parastatals or government local government to assess any help?
No, I never go local government too because if I go there, no, I don't know anybody there. To help somebody, no, nothing they can do. All the road don spoil, they no do am, they no do area, they no do anything. They don't know how dem dey spend the money. Wey go help us for this country o. Our life make people help o. I no fit climb house, I be carpenter. I no get what I go dey eat. So
You have your family with you?
some of my children dey with me. Some
Your children is with you?
yes o.
Okay. How many children and what are they doing?